numbers. So we need to do something else. And the key here is try to inform people better in an easy way, and also try to come with alternatives. So try to come with alternatives lower in salt or lower in sugar, for example, because they cause the big health problems. So move from nutrition on the one hand and taste on the other hand, the thing we started with, to bring together, so a product, a dish, a meal, offering both better nutrition and better taste. And if we can achieve that, that will make life a lot easier for a lot of people. You don't need to think, because the things you're offered are tasty and are healthy. So we come back to the questions Kees already mentioned. Check whether it is healthy and check whether it is tasty. So food service is in the spotlight. We need to respond. People expect us to respond and to come with alternatives because they ask for it. And also there is pressure from the regulatory bodies, from government, and you all are aware of that as well. So we need to respond. But how? And the how is in the combination of a chef and a dietitian. If we can make those work together, we can get the best of both worlds. We can get the best of taste and we can get the best of nutrition. And the way they are going to communicate should be about food and not nutrients. That's our kind of bad thing. As nutritionists, we tend to talk about nutrients all the time, and you don't put nutrients together when you're cooking. You work with ingredients, you work with food. And the translation from nutrients to food is a crucial thing to bring it to a success. So the collaboration between the chef and the dietitian is key. And then the chefs are best placed to communicate that to the guests, to the people at the table. Remember the picture, the 4 people. The chef is best placed to convince those people that the food he offers is very tasty. And why? Because he's much more credible to talk about taste than the dietitian. And we see changes around us. We see restaurants, we see companies claiming things like organic, TFA-free, fresh, natural, lower salt sometimes. And the good thing is we see healthier options. For example, in fast food, in breakfast buffets. If you go to the hotel, you see you can choose from fruit, different kind of yogurts, different kind of breads. And the other week I was in Sweden, I even had a bio breakfast. So it is moving, and also on the go and in catering and in schools we see changes. We see food lower in sodium for children. We see more vegetables offered in catering. So that's a very good thing, but we are not there yet. We need to move on. Unilever Food Solutions and you chefs can make it happen. The big task for Unilever Food Solutions is to offer products which are better nutritionally. And the chefs, you as a community, the task is to find vital ways to prepare and present food. These are 2 big tasks and will help to bring healthier food to our customers and therefore to the consumers who visit the customers. Health in itself is most of the time not the most appealing concept you will think of, because we also want to make a business. We want to have a win-win for the restaurant and for the consumer, because then there is growth and then we can do more. And the current aim for a lot of consumers to get back to real food, to get back to authentic and to a traditional, I think you recognize that, is a great platform to use to also build in healthier options, because the move back to natural and authentic is a lot of times linked in consumers' mind to also being healthier. So it's our responsibility together then to also meet that expectations and make sure it is tasty, it is natural or fresh or authentic, and it is good in nutrition. Unilever contributes all around the world. We've screened all products in the portfolio, retail and in food service, and we already removed a lot of the baddies. And you can ask me, why do you remove it, and why were they there to start with? Well, the scientific knowledge is moving, and we now know more about what is good and what is bad, and also the pressure because of the health problems is big. So that's why we are removing all these baddies from our products. Also in Unilever Food Solutions, there's a clear aim to bring lower salt versions to lower fat where possible. And very important, we also try to bring back food values in our products. And I'm very passionate about those developments. For example, the soup, a dry soup used to be a powder with a lot of sodium and salt. But now this dry soup is, the starting point is dried vegetables, and technologies have improved, and there are great products with natural ingredients. Also the bouillons, and you've seen yesterday the demonstration of the bouillon in the factory, produced by using the bones and meat of chicken and beef, for example. And you can see here the dressings, oil and vinegar, just two simple ingredients, and we're going back to having dressings with the real stuff. So we're very proud about that. But it's not the products alone. Unilever is of course selling products, but we also want to help you in a lot of other ways. And one of the ways is helping you with training. And I heard yesterday that training is important for WACS, and maybe we should try to build in more of that. But on a local level, we also help catering staff to learn more about healthy eating, and to help them with recipes. Here you see the nutritionist on the top and the chef below, and the combination again will bring the success. We help the companies with recipes, but also with communication material to educate their consumers. Simple tools for you preparing meals and doing recipes is which ingredients do you choose. And this is just one example of how you can show in a visual way how you would choose a fat source. And the ones on your right side are higher in unsaturated fat, and those are the healthier ones. So if you have this picture in mind and you're doing your dish, you can easily think, okay, if I use this, I probably will end up with a healthier option than when I use the other fat source. And that's the way we believe it will work. And it can also be a little table, like for cereals and grains and bread. On the one hand, the ones which are providing less of the good nutrients, and on the other hand, the one who deliver more of the good nutrients. It's not just something we do because we like it so much and we feel responsible. It's also a business opportunity. And this is an example of what we did in France. Together also with catering organizations, we helped them to find new ways to prepare the vegetables. And it resulted in vegetables presented in a nice way, tasting nice, even when it's kept like for an hour before it is consumed. And it's a win for the operator, because he sells his vegetables, and otherwise he would need to throw it away. And for the consumer, because he can have his portion of vegetable that day in an appealing way. Also, desserts is something you can do differently, and we saw it yesterday, or I've experienced it yesterday on the buffet already. If you do smaller portions and you offer also fruit, people who want to have a big dessert can still have a big dessert, because they choose 3 or 4 of those really nice little cups. But if you want to be on the low side, if you want to limit your calories, you can only choose 1 or 2, or choose fruit or a combination. So an easy option you can do and start tomorrow. Concluding, there is a serious thing we need to work on. Unilever voedsel